honoring our recipients, Councilwoman Paula Devine and Chief Carl Povilaitis. We're honored to have you all here, although virtually. We all really miss having in-person events, as I'm sure most organizations do, and seeing your smiling faces, of course, greeting you all and sharing a drink with you. And we really hope we can get together in person very soon. But for now, we're here together virtually, and we're nevertheless grateful that we're able to put on this event. I want to thank the GBA board and our wonderful new administrator, Sheila Redding, for her hard work on this event. Just a little background on the Liberty Bell Award in case some of you don't know how it was started. It was established more than 40 years ago to acknowledge outstanding community service. Liberty Bell Award was conceived by Flint, Michigan attorney William P. Daniel and first awarded by the Young Lawyers section of the State Bar of Michigan in 1962. The American Bar Association in 1964 formally endorsed the award for use by bar associations nationally. Since then, the Liberty Bell Award has enhanced the observation of law days across the nation, and thousands of individuals have received recognition for extraordinary contributions to the American legal system. Each group that elects to present the award is, of course, free to establish its own criteria. Many groups present it to a layperson, a non-attorney individual, or a community organization who has promoted a better understanding of the law, encouraged a greater respect for the law and the courts, and who stimulates a sense of civic responsibility, and who contributes to good government within the community. And this is precisely the criteria that the GBA uses to select its recipient or recipients annually. And the GBA has established a tradition of selecting a male and a female award recipient each year, as we have done this year. And it is our highest honor to a non-lawyer, and indeed often the only award presented during the year by the Glendale Bar Association. This year's male and female award recipients, again, Chief Carl Povilaitis and Councilwoman Paula Devine, truly embody the spirit of the Liberty Bell Award. So without further ado, I want to turn it over, before we turn it over to Ms. Monica Molina to introduce our first recipient, I'd like to turn it over to, if we have our treasurer, Mike Zuckerman, on. He wants to make a few comments about Eric Ashton, who sadly has passed away. Is Mike on?
I am.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Greetings to the award recipients, members of the Glendale Bar, and guests. Thank you for attending the presentation. I would imagine that most, if not all of you, are aware of Eric Ashton Sr.'s recent passing. We felt it was important to include in this year's presentation an acknowledgement of Eric's involvement and efforts with the Liberty Bell Awards and the Glendale Bar Association as a whole. Eric also was our only emeritus member of the Glendale Bar Association. Eric had been a long-standing and very active member of the Glendale Bar Association. He was one of the best, if not the best, cheerleaders for the Glendale Bar Association. Eric was a blessing to his family, his friends, his fellow lawyers, the Glendale Bar Association, other worthwhile organizations in the Glendale area, and the Glendale community as a whole. Eric had long been involved in the Liberty Bell Awards and the selection of the recipients of the awards for many years. Eric was always very happy to be able to acknowledge the work and service of non-lawyers to the Glendale community. Eric was an excellent lawyer and an excellent friend to his lawyer colleagues. He was always available to answer questions, to provide encouragement and lend a helping hand. He exuded enthusiasm in all of his endeavors, and that enthusiasm was infectious. He was always ready to greet you with a handshake, a smile, and a glass of scotch if necessary. On a personal note, Eric got me involved in the Glendale Bar Association about 15 years ago, and I was so happy that he did. Eric also assisted me when I transitioned my practiced 10 years ago. He was always ready to listen to questions, provide advice and support, and vigorous encouragement. I hope that I sufficiently thanked him for all that he did for me, and I am sure that he did the same for many others. We are, of course, saddened by his passing, but at least we can take some solace in the fact that Eric Jr. will continue to be an active member and a friend to us all. Uh, and I'm sure Eric would say by now, after hearing me talk, let's get on with the awards. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mike. I think I'm up next. I'm deeply saddened by Eric's passing. But in thinking about his participation with the Liberty Bell, I am grateful to him for so many years of dedication to not only the committee, but oftentimes linking the Glendale Bar Association with these outstanding individuals in the community. And I cannot think of anybody more noteworthy and deserving of the Liberty Bell Award than our female recipient, Councilwoman Paula Devine. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Paula because truly she is a person that I aspire to be when I grow up. Paula has resided in Glendale for over 40 years, during which time she has continually worked to make positive contributions around the community. In her professional career, she was a secondary teacher. She was the department chair. She was also a coach, a woman after my own heart, and the first girls athletic director after the passage of Title IX. She holds a master's degree in education administration. Paula was first elected to the city council in 2014. That was for an 8-month term, but she was so outstanding and so well liked by the community. She was elected again in 2015 for what turned out to be a 5-year term. And then again in 2020 for the current term, which is now 4 years. She was honored to serve as the mayor of Glendale in 2016, 2017. Currently, she serves as the chair of the Glendale Housing Authority. She represents the city of Glendale as vice president of the Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena Airport Authority. She represents Glendale and Burbank on the Regional Council of the Southern California Association of Governments. She serves as a member of the SCAG Community Economic and Human Development Committee. After her retirement, it is important to note that that is when she began the bulk of her volunteer work, because she has always been a volunteer and amazing in her philanthropy. She has been a member of and or serves on the boards of many of the Glendale organizations. This includes the City of Glendale Commission on the Status of Women. She has been the chair for 4 years. Adventist Health Glendale Advisory Board. If any of you have had any sort of recent visits to the Glendale Adventist Hospital, you'll see the gorgeous Paula Devine there noted in a big picture at the entryway. She also is she's also on the board of the Glendale Latino Association, Family Promise, Kiwanis of Glendale, Glendale Historical Society, Women's Civic League, the Glendale Arts, Seroptimist International of Glendale. She is the past president of that organization. And if you all recall, that was also our charity of choice last year in 2019. Glendale Police Foundation, the Glendale Healthy Kids, City of Hope Positive Image Center for the last 10 years. Safe Family Task Force established a safe dating curriculum in Glendale School District. Some of the awards and recognitions she has also received for her volunteer work include, and this is a big one, folks, she recently achieved the Woman of the Year by Congressman Adam Schiff. Glendale Latino Association, she was Woman of the Year. Glendale Association of Realtors Volunteer of the Year. The YWCA Heart and Excellence Award. Business Life Magazine Women Extraordinaire. Adventist Health Glendale Flame of Hope. Adventist Health Glendale Community Leader Courage Award. American Cancer Society Special Community Activist. Valley Business and Professional Woman of Achievement Award, and Mark Keppel PTA Person of the Year. I cannot emphasize how wonderful of a person she is. As I said previously, I aspire to be her. I cannot think of a more worthy person to receive the 2020 GBA Liberty Bell Award other than Councilwoman Paula Devine. And as Mike said, without further ado, Paula Devine, congratulations. And it is my honor to introduce you.
Thank you so much. Who was that you were talking about? It was like, wow. Okay. Thank you for those, the kind words. I want to thank the Glendale Bar Association for honoring me with this very prestigious Liberty Bell Award. It means a lot to me, coming from such a highly respected organization. And I'm also proud to share this year's award with Chief Povilaitis, because he does an amazing job ensuring that our police department is the best and that our community is safe. But I just want to say that, after a career in education for over 30 years, and actually in any career, once you retire, it opens up a whole new life for us. So it was a chance for a whole new purpose in life. And so I decided to get involved in the community and find a new path for myself. So I found that path in community service. I've been grateful and pleased to have the opportunity and the ability to make a difference in Glendale. And I hope that by example, I have encouraged others to act in a sense of civic responsibility, to find themselves in the service of others. There's so much need in our community, and it's so wonderful when people get involved. But remember, you don't have to be retired to do all of that service work, that volunteering. I also hope that through my work and decision-making on City Council, that I have contributed to good government in our community. The residents have entrusted in me a huge responsibility. My mantra has always been to listen to all sides and make fair decisions. It's not always easy, but it's definitely worth the work. So I just want to thank the Glendale Bar Association again, and all of you for your support, your hard work. I respect all of you. I want you to know that. And I will continue, I promise, to work to deserve this award. Thank you so much. Miriam.
Thank you, Paula.
You're
I'm
welcome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
much.
Paula.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And now it is sincerely my pleasure and honor to introduce our chief, Carl Povilaitis. He has so many accomplishments that I've written them out. So I'll read a summary and then I'll share some fun stuff about him. So Chief Povilaitis has been serving the Glendale community for the past 29 years. He began his career in law enforcement for the city of Glendale in 1990. Chief Povilaitis was appointed to police chief on May 1, 2018. After graduating from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Academy, Class 267, Chief Povilaitis was assigned to the Field Services Division, where he worked in patrol. He eventually transferred to the Investigative Services Division and completed a tour in the COPS unit focusing on community policing and problem solving. He was promoted to sergeant in 2001. In 2002, he transferred to the Support Services Division, where he supervised the Glendale Police Department's Air Support Unit until he was promoted to lieutenant. He served as the Traffic Bureau Commander, where he was responsible for traffic enforcement, parking enforcement, and major special event planning for the city. In 2009, Chief Povilaitis assumed the duties as the Special Operations Division Commander to begin the process of developing the DNA lab and the Information Lead Enforcement and Accountability Data Project. Chief Povilaitis was promoted to captain in 2010 and has overseen all major divisions of the police department. In 2013, Chief Povilaitis was promoted to the rank of Deputy Chief of Police. Chief Povilaitis holds an associate's degree in Administration of Justice from Monterey Peninsula College, a Bachelor's of Science in Criminology with an emphasis in law enforcement from Fresno State, and a master's degree in Public Administration from the University of Southern California. He is also a graduate of the California Commission on Peace Officer Standards and Training, Command College, class number 45. Chief Povilaitis participates and volunteers for a number of clubs, a nonprofit organization, boards within the community. He has served as board member for the Glendale Educational Foundation and continues to serve the community board of Glendale Memorial Hospital and is an associate board member of the Glendale Chamber of Commerce. He served as a commissioner representing the city of Glendale on the Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena Airport Authority from 1999 to 2009. He also serves as an adjunct faculty member at Glendale Community College. But with all of the above accomplishments, Chief Povilaitis also has a great sense of humor and likes adventures and fun. I'm just going to provide some examples. So when he was a new employee, this goes back many, many years ago, Carl was riding with another officer, and the other officer asked Carl, well, what are your goals in this department? And Carl immediately responded, I'm going to be chief of police. So the other officer laughed, looked at Carl. Carl wasn't laughing. Carl wasn't smiling. Carl was adamant, and he became the chief of police. Another example is that he's an avid hiker and goes near and far for hiking adventures. He's a licensed pilot. This is impressive to me, and his own airplane. And one of his favorite hobbies are to fly his plane to Harris Ranch because they have the best steaks ever. I'm still waiting for my steak, but you know, maybe one day.
Likewise.
Carl has quite a bit of knowledge about water and water infrastructure and history. I know because I've had many conversations with him. He also knows quite a lot about engineering and can hold his own in a debate over Porsche engineering. I know because he was the referee when I was having a debate with an engineer colleague of mine. And he enjoys a good Giamella's pepper steak sandwich. And I've been told that he has kept Dr. Pepper in business for many, many years. And with that, congratulations, Carl. Thank you so much for everything that you've done as a fellow city employee, as a 40-something year resident of Glendale. I know that you're approachable, you know what you're doing, and it just means a lot to have someone like you be in charge of the safety of this city and my family and friends and all the residents. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Doreen. I'm not sure whose resume you were reading either. I'm kind of with Paula on that. It's like, where did all that stuff come from? But it's nice to be surrounded by friends as I see a number of faces that I recognize in the Glendale Bar Association and folks that I know and have gotten to know over the years. And I'll tell you, I am truly humbled by this award. And although people will go back and tell you I said I was going to be chief, I used to say in a small town someplace, but the stories get embellished along the way. And I see Yasmin there, and so I would be remiss without saying thank you for the opportunity to kind of fulfill that dream and your trust to be able to guide this department. And then when I sit down and I'm going to tell you, nobody does any of this alone. And so a lot of those accomplishments and what you see with Glendale Police Department, well, I'm just going to say I may be the figurehead for this period of time, doesn't happen alone. And so when I look at what your description of that Liberty Bell Award is and what it encompasses, I'm going to tell you, I'm actually going to accept the award on behalf of the men and women of the Glendale Police Department. Because when I look at that and you talk about respect for the law and Constitution, and while I get to provide some guidance, as I said, I have a command staff up here that is second to none. They're young, they're energetic, they're smart. They will challenge my thought process, which is, I think, all good things when we're dealing with that. And when you look at the events of the last, oh Lord, the last 6 months feels like 6 years. When you look at the events of the last 6 months and the challenges are there, I think you've seen the men and women of Glendale Police Department step up and honor the traditions of that Liberty Bell Award. You know, nobody knew we would be dealing with a worldwide pandemic. And if that's not enough, as you're sitting there trying to figure out, how do you keep your own people safe? How do you keep a community safe? You know, how do you do law enforcement when anything you do involves contact with people, and that provides risks? And time again, the men and women of this department have stepped up. They have not depoliced this community. They have gone out there to keep this community safe. And as I said, I couldn't be prouder of them. And I think they meet the tenet of that. And then, you know, we roll into a period of civil unrest and police reform, and people wanting to say their piece. And again, being able to provide an environment where people can say what they want to say, exercise their constitutional rights, which is really what we're here to do. And what I'm here to do is to make sure people can exercise their constitutional rights in a lawful manner and keep a community safe at the same time. But to provide the environment where people can do that, even when the conversation is not one maybe that a lot of police officers want to hear, but to go, this is what we raised our right hand to take an oath to do, and to go out there and to be able to do that, and to serve our community with honor and distinction. And then, you know, to have the discussions around police reform. And I'll tell you, I think Glendale Police Department, as I said, I'll stack it up against any other police department, any place, anytime. And while I'll say, are we a perfect department? No, we're not a perfect department, but we're a damn good department, because we hire the best and the brightest, and we are committed to doing things the right way. And so, you know, when it's not perfect, we work hard, we make adjustments and go, how are we going to do this better? Not that we did it wrong, but how do we do it better? And just committed to that. And then I don't know what else 2020 can give to us all. You know, with now hostilities between Azerbaijan and Armenia and Artsakh and our community, that you can feel the pain, and I can walk around in the building and see people who have relatives there, and you can see the stress that wears on them and the concerns. And then, you know, the community needing its opportunity to have that outlet again, to be able to provide that outlet to allow people to exercise their rights in a lawful manner, and to do so in a peaceful way, and to balance that need of keeping our community safe. And so I guess I will say, I hope I have contributed in some small way to that environment and to this community. And I plan to continue to do that, because look, this is the greatest nation on earth. And right now, I will tell you, elections right around the corner. I'm sure that's a shocker to everybody. And as we sit here right now, we're having discussions about how do we make sure that people can exercise probably the most important thing you do in this country, and that's the freedom to vote, to say what your piece is, and to have your input into this community. How do we make sure everybody can do that safely, with all the concerns that are out there, with all the diametrically opposed positions and all that challenge out there, as an organization, to be able to walk out and say, you know what, you're entitled to whatever your point of view is, and we're going to make sure you can have that, and we're going to make sure that you can be able to vote, and that you can do that with absolute safety in this community. And I guess I'm going to say, I think one of the coolest things I've seen happen in my career here, and it's not really a police department story, is when it comes to elections, you know, nobody wants to put a polling place in a police station. We apparently can be intimidating and scary and all of that. And I remember that discussion in Glendale, that, you know, well, no, we can't do this at a police station. People don't feel comfortable going there. And I have watched that transition over time to where now it's like, you know, we had our election centers here for municipal elections, and everything got done in the police community rooms. And now it's a place where people expect to have a polling place. And I just think that's one of the coolest things about this community, that the police department is enough a part of the community that people feel very comfortable walking in here to exercise their right to vote. And when we talk about, you know, I talk a lot about respectful policing, constitutional policing, and engage with the community. I think that's one of the things that's a bellwether of how we've managed to integrate with our community, that we can be part of it, that you can do those things right here in your police department, that there's respect for the law, that there's a respect for the Constitution, and the police department's part of that community. So, and I'm just very glad to be that. And I'm very humbled by this award, and said, again, I'll accept it on behalf of the men and women here who really make this work every single day, despite whatever challenging conditions out here. So thank you all very much.
Congratulations, Chief.
Yes, congratulations. Congratulations to both our recipients. I really want to just add, we have a couple, first of all, we have a couple of people I want to acknowledge. Thank you so much to former City Manager Yasmin Beers for being here. And we have Carmen Marino from the City Attorney's Office here, who is counsel to the Glendale Police Department. And all the members of the Glendale Bar, thank you so much for your, again, your hard work on putting this together. And once more, thank you so much and congratulations to Paula, who has led the city so well for so many years. And I hope you will continue to lead this city for many, many years to come. And Chief Povilaitis, thank you so much in this time of civil unrest, as you mentioned. We are blessed to have you as our chief, truly. If anybody wants to say anything to the recipients, open it up to any comments before we conclude.
Sounds like we're going to have some more fines at Kiwanis.
Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that, Pat.
I also want to thank the recipients, and also just for the recipients' benefits, there is a bunch of congratulatory notes in the chat box. If you did not have a chance to see them, they're there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to both Carl and Paula, who I consider to be friends of Miriam and myself. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Lou.
So we recorded this meeting here today, and we will post it on our website. So if you have friends and family who couldn't attend and wanted to see this, then that's their opportunity to just go to the Glendale Bar Association's website. In the events, we'll put this video available for people to view it.
Great. Thank you.
All right. If nobody has any further comments or questions, I'm going to conclude the meeting. That's because my job, it's not like I like it.
This is the time that we adjourn to the bar normally.
Yes.
Adjourn to the bar.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, and have a good day.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
So much.
Bye, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
Thank you,
again.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.